Goes. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of, you guessed it, the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Now get ready for liftoff. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Come on, hurry up.
3,
2,
1, 0.
yeah, now we're talking.
Ignition.
Ahora sí.
Liftoff.
Let's get this mofo off the ground. Mofo is a way of saying motherfucker. Get up, get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name tag. On Vaughn Radio. Get up, mofo. Come on! Let's go. Welcome. That's for you, show with no namers, for putting in the time and the effort you need to do anything well in life. It makes all the difference. And you can tell, se nota, not just with students, with parents, with, even the person at the checkout counter in the grocery store. You can tell if somebody is putting in that time, that energy, that passion that it takes to do anything. And not just do it. Do it right. One of my favorite idiomatic expressions in English is, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Oh, man, I really believe that. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Si te vas a molestar en hacerlo, hazlo bien. What an amazing show we've got for you today. Another round of applause for my superstar students, Alfonso, Anix, Cristina Chicago, Marisol, Turani, Nuria, Elena, and Chris Valrol. They've all participated in our question of the week, and we're going to be taking a look at their answers a little bit later on in the show. How exciting. Oh, yeah. And we're going to laugh. We're going to play. And in general, have a blast. Pasarlo pipa, as you say in Spain. So welcome. Welcome to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. It's a pleasure to be with you today, teaching you all. And to use the expression Elena used this week, I am, and I hope you are, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, con muchas ganas, con mucho ánimo. So let's kick things off with today's Say What soundbite. Get up! Say what? What? Come on. Welcome to your Say What soundbite. Also, a quick reminder, you've got some killer deals going on in the Vaughn sphere. La Esfera Vaughan. We've got 60% discounts on some of our online courses. Self-study. And for you guys, that's perfect. Why? Because you're all driven students, motivados. You don't need somebody standing over you, reminding you to do what you gotta do. So check it out. Go to our website, grupovaughn.com, and you can get more information. Also, make sure you're following us on social media. And this way, you know about upcoming deals as well for the holidays. You know we're going to have some Christmas deals. And I hate to say it. Oh, I hate it so much. Black Friday. Oh, God. Sorry. It's probably two of the most annoying words in the English language together. Black Friday. Oh, man. I know marketing, but it's just so predictable, so annoying. I don't mean Vaughn, I mean all of them. Doesn't matter. My bank, Spotify, or whoever. They're like, Black Friday. And all I'm like is, STFU. Shut the fuck up. But it's true, there are good deals. But you know what? It's kind of like social media. Been there, done that, folks. Wrote a book about it. All right, folks. But seriously, we will have some really good deals coming up. And the best way to find out about those deals is by following Vaughn on social media. Yeah, I know, I'm criticizing it. But companies, I get it. You need it, companies. I don't. But companies need it. You know? I think most companies these days, I mean, that's what they do. They use social media even more than when I was a kid. Everything was, you know, if you wanted to advertise, you'd go to traditional media, TV, radio, newspapers, you know, stuff like that. But as we know, social media has really taken the cake. Se ha llevado la palma. All right, folks. Well, as always, in our Say What soundbite, this exercise works a few different things. A, it's a listening exercise. So I want you to listen carefully and see what you can get from it. It's also an exercise in summing things up, resumiendo cosas. So I also want you to summarize what you heard. And lastly, it's about taking dictation and being able to get it word for word, verbatim. And I think today's, judging by our normal scale, la escala de siempre aquí, I think this one's going to be easy peasy, mac and cheesy. That's right. Well, the British say easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The Americans say easy peasy, mac and cheesy. Or even easier, you can say it's gonna be a breeze. Una brisa. A walk in the park, a piece of cake. All right, here it is. Your Say What soundbite for the first time.
And it's 50 years now. It's the 50th anniversary of Batman. And it seems like only yesterday. I feel like 18 years old. Don't feel any older. And I don't feel any more famous, so to speak. I think it's an amazing phenomenon. It's just a happening. And you can't explain a happening.
Hey, honey, do you know when the next Vaughn Radio Trivia Night is?
Yeah, Daddy. It's on Tuesday, November 4th at 8 p.m. And you're hosting.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You're so forgetful, Daddy. What will you do without me?
You're absolutely right, honey. I am a bit absent-minded. Thanks for your help.
Don't mention it. Just mark your calendar. Tuesday, November 4th at 8 p.m. We'll meet you at the Toast Tap Room.
Okay, so let me make sure I've got it. Tuesday, November 4th at 8 p.m. at the Toast Tap Room, Calle San Vicente Ferrer, 33.
Yeah, you got it, Daddy. Be there or be square, amigos.
Excellent. Excellent, Smithers. All right, folks, we will see you there. Now it's really right around the corner. And that radio ad is just another reminder. Alberto, you got to create the content. I know. I've been putting it off, aplazándolo, but also I've had a lot of stuff to do lately. I know it's no excuse, but it will be done and ready before the 4th of November, 2025. I'll see you folks there. I am kicking off at 8 p.m. sharp. So if you come in 5 minutes late, I told you so. Te lo dije. So we'll see you there. Everyone's going to be there. Richard Vaughn has confirmed. Rob and Kyle and Andy. Well, Andy missed last month, but usually Andy doesn't miss one. And I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be a full house. That's another reason to get there early, because this way you can get situated and grab a beer, grab a bite to eat. You say picotear algo, grab a bite to eat and get ready for an awesome night. It's going to be off the charts, as we say, la bomba, off the charts. All right, well, I'll tell you what, my amigos, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. We've got a lot of comments coming in right now as well. So let's move on to today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Get up. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Clap your hands. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, folks, it is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And today we are taking a look at something from natural English. Now, primero, hay que saber decir natural. It's not natural, right? I know in Spanish it's natural. There's another one of those words that looks the same but doesn't sound the same. So let's all say it. Natural, future, creature, statue. Do you hear something that they all have in common? It reminds me of Welcome to the Jungle. To your knees, knees. It's that sound, that knees. So if you can make that ch, you've got it down pat. And if not, we'll practice it in the future. Okay. So natural English, what is it? Tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. You have got totally native expressions, grammar, common mistakes, pronunciation tips like the one we just looked at. And it is a very complete material. It's written for all different levels. So it doesn't matter if you consider yourself a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level, you are going to find that it comes in handy. Algo que vimos ayer resulta útil. It comes in handy. Now, it was written by the one and only Jimena Holiday. So, I mean, she is one of the greatest people / professionals I've ever met. And I am not exaggerating that. I am not overstating that. And those of you who know her know that that is so true. I mean, I've never said a truer statement in my life. So if you want to learn with Jimena, you've got natural English. Now, also, many of us have participated in the audio. In fact, I remember when she called me, "Hey, Alberto, how are you? I was wondering if you could record some audio with me next week for natural English." And I said, "Yeah, of course. I'm in. I'm in like Flynn, as we say." All right, so you can pick up this awesome material for $25.95. All right, let's be honest, 26 euros, right? 25. You're not fooling anybody, guys. 25.95 really means 26 euros. Okay. I love that. They're like 29.99. I'm like, you mean 30? I mean, hi, we're not stupid. So 26 euros, you can pick it up. And I call these materials, resources, more than books, because not all books come with audio. So, and as you know, it's so important if we're trying to replicate the sounds therein. So everybody, as always, pay careful attention to this audio from Natural English. And then afterwards, I'll highlight a few things and I'll ask you a few things as well in our pop quiz.
Chapter 46, when recommending someone or convincing someone.
Recomendando o convenciendo a alguien. 4 key expressions.
To knock your socks off.
Dejar boquiabierto.
Word of mouth.
Boca a boca.
The best thing since sliced bread.
La pera limonera, lo mejor de lo mejor.
To be worth it.
Valer la pena.
More useful English. Set phrases. I'm not one to. I don't usually.
No suelo.
In no time flat.
En un abrir y cerrar de ojos.
Vocabulary. Airtight.
Impenetrable. Hermético.
Groundbreaking.
Revolucionario.
Pronunciation.
Reclutar se dice
To recruit. Phrasal verbs. To let down.
decepcionar.
To frown on.
Desaprobar.
To take on. To hire.
Contratar.
I'm not one to call up a friend to give references, but in the case of Mark Crumley, you'll be making a big mistake if you don't at least see him. Trust me, he'll knock your socks off.
The recruitment process here in Owen Pitman is pretty airtight. The HR department doesn't like including friends or family members when recruiting or even finding people through word of mouth. It's a company policy.
But Maggie, Mark Crumley is the bee's knees. The best thing since sliced bread. I've never seen anyone with his sales skills. He could make a fortune selling ice to an Eskimo.
Lorna, you know me. I jump at your recommendations in no time flat. You've never let me down when you're sure about something. But I repeat, company policy frowns on personal recommendations when hiring.
Let me talk to the people in HR. Come on, Maggie. This Crumley guy is out of this world, from another galaxy. I've never seen anything like it. He's just returned from 4 years with LVR in Sweden. He quit his job because they wanted to lower his commission rate. Do you want to know why? It's because he met his annual sales target by February 12th. Can you believe it? February 12th. He was lined up to make more than triple the salary of the chairman by the end of the year. The top management didn't know how to deal with him. They called him Mr. Wizard. So they sat him down and tried to convince him to take a lower commission. The guy quit.
So now you think we should take him on? I don't know, Lorna. I don't know if Mr. Wizard is the right kind of person for our organisation. I'll talk to the people in HR. But no promises, okay?
The guy's magic. It will be totally worth it. He'll sweep your customers off their feet. Once he sees how groundbreaking your product line is, he'll break down doors to make sales.
Okay, Lorna, okay. You've convinced me. I'll see what I can do.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. You're chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip. Zumber.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it. That's right, folks. You can pick that material up at vaughntienda.com along with many other amazing materials. We've got it all. You're looking for phrasal verbs. You're looking for complete courses. Maybe you just need to work on the interrogative because you keep getting confused when it comes to asking questions. Whatever your strengths and weaknesses may be, we are there. And remember, if you'd like to stop by in person, feel free. We are in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. We've got several offices located in Madrid, and we would love to meet you all in person if we haven't already. In fact, I know many of you have signed up for different courses of ours. Many of my students who I have really enjoy doing Vaughn courses as well, because I have some private students. But then from time to time, they're like, hey, Alberto, I got an offer for the online course. You know what I always say? Do it, right? One thing doesn't take away from the other. Especially if there's a 60% discount. Or, Alberto, I'm thinking about doing Vaughntown. Do not hesitate. No, do this. It is not just going to change your English, but it'll open up your brain, your mind, your ear, so that you feel so much more comfortable the next time you go over to London, or you go over to New York, or you're out in California. You know, hey, wherever. Or maybe you're going out to Australia, mate. Good on, mate. Maybe you're going out to Australia. Who knows? Maybe you're going to Scotland. Wherever. That's what you will definitely take with you. That confidence to say, okay, maybe I didn't get every word, but I got the gist of it. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Our Say What soundbite. That's what we're doing over there in the Say What soundbite. We're training our ear to hear every different situation and accent under the sun. All right. Wow. That was chock full of is repleto de, chock full of amazing, totally native vocabulary. That was it was 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I know I have it written here in my script. So in that less than 3-minute audio, there were so many totally native expressions and things that I think you need to know, as we call it natural English. But here on the show, we call it totally native English. It's the same deal. All right, here's what I want from you. The first one, they used an expression which is to amaze someone, to impress someone. Hey, you guys do it every day here on the show. So you can even say, oh, you know what, blah, 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 always me impresiona in the question of the week or whatever. So remember, always try and find a place to use it. Give it a real usage, because you could just make up a sentence, but why not think, okay, pues yo, Elena, ¿cómo yo usaría? ¿Quién me deja mudo? ¿Quién me impresiona? Me deja boquiabierto, as they said. All right, there are many ways to express it, so be creative. But again, the more you personalize it, the more you'll know where you're going to use it next time you need to use it. All right, so that's the first one. It's a totally native saying that means to amaze someone, to impress them. All right, again, I can think of my example. You guys, every day here on the show, you me dejáis mudo. I'm not going to give it to you. You give it to me. That's number one. Now, number two, I've got to look at how to say this here because I always get confused in Spanish, which is exactly why I want to see if you guys know it in English. So it's el boca a boca. It's personal recommendation, right? It's how we used to do business and learn about different things before social media, right? People used to say, oh, tienes que apuntarte ese curso, es buenísimo. Ese restaurante, recommendations. And we look at them on real reviews because it works the other way around too, al revés, ¿no? Si alguien te dice, oh, ese restaurante carísimo, the staff was rude, blah, blah, then okay, well, I'm not going to go there, right? So it's a really powerful way of gaining business or losing business, and it's el boca a boca. Okay. It also says de boca en boca. That's probably why I get confused, because you have two different ways to say it. Well, in English, we have one. All right. And we'll see if you guys know it. It was in the audio. All right. And the last one, lo más. Okay. Lo máximo. Lo mejor de este mundo. And that was another. They said 2 or 3 different expressions that show you this concept. Again, be creative. If you know another one that wasn't in the audio, you can use that as well. Number 1, again, is to amaze or impress someone. Number 2 is personal recommendations. And number 3 is something that is just awesome. Okay, something that stands alone. All right, amigos, we are going to a quick commercial break right now. We'll be right back with much more Show with No Names, so stick around. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is part 2. Wow. Can't believe it, folks. Time really does fly when you're having fun. But the good news is, when we're done here, the fun doesn't end. Hell no. No way. You can tune into the following program, which is Speaking with Confidence with Ale. After that, you've got the Lunchtime Show with my buddy Rob Grams. That's some real deal English. After that, you've got Ruby's program, followed by Jules Linares and her show, Let's Get Random. Don't forget about Dave Boys and the Salad. After that, Kyle Miller. He will accompany you on your commute home in Drive Time. Oh, yeah. You've also got Chris Frank and his show, Frankly Speaking. Keeping it real with Chris every evening here. Now remember, if you can't listen in the evening, you want to listen to Chris in the mornings, well, then you got podcasts. So whatever your favorite podcast platform is, you can find your favorite Vaughn Radio programs on it as well. And don't forget, iVox, Evox, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it. But I'll tell you this. If you use iVox, that's what I call it. Go over there and search for Vaughan Inglés 4.0. It is an exclusive podcast based on our course. Hosted by Richard Vaughn and company. The Master. You've also got Richard Vaughn live here on Vaughn Radio every day. You've also got the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. And right before this program, No Excuses with Fitz. All right, my amigos, we've got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's keep it moving along. I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite now for the second time, and we'll see your feedback. Are you ready? Here goes.
And it's 50 years now. It's the 50th anniversary of Batman. And it seems like only yesterday. I feel like 18 years old. Don't feel any older. and I don't feel any more famous, so to speak. I think it's an amazing phenomenon. It's just a happening, and you can't explain a happening.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. That's right, folks. It's the shit. This Book is the Shit is available at Von Tienda, or, ya sabéis la expresión de marketing. You say en todas las grandes almacenes, I think in Spanish. The equivalent in English? Oh, yeah, we've got one. Wherever fine books are sold. And you know where I learned that? Listening to the radio, watching TV. And they would have, new novel by whatever person, Stephen King or whoever, say available at blah, 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 or wherever fine books are sold. Like as seen on TV. Tenéis esa también, como se ha visto en la tele, right? Like that makes it all of a sudden like something you can trust. I don't think that one works anymore. As seen on TV, oh, that means I shouldn't believe it then. All right, amigos, let's see who's with us in the house. Also, let me give you next week's question of the week, just in case you want to use the weekend to think about what you're going to say, or you want to send it in early, because as you know, the early bird gets the worm. So next week's, what is your most used emoji? And obviously, even if I don't say it, it's always and why. Okay, so what is your most used emoji and why? Why do you use this one very often? And if you don't know it, like, ¿cómo se dice esta? Oh, well, then, of course, what you can do is you can describe it. It's the one with the face that's upside down or the melting. You've got to describe it. Tell us which one it is and why. All right, my amigos. Now, a couple things that I wanted to highlight from that audio from Natural English. We looked at in no time, or in no time flat. Yo no lo digo con el flat porque tardas mucho más. I just say in no time. I think you say en un santiamén, en un abrir y cerrar de los ojos. Another way to say it, in the blink of an eye. Mira, es exactamente igual. In the blink of an eye. In no time. Also, we looked at airtight. Now, that can be in the figurative sense, hermético, or it can be a process. Oh, it's airtight. You can't get in there, right? So it can be something that is vacuum packed. Do you know this one? Al vacío, I think you say. O sea, empaquetado con aspiradora. Think about it. Chupa todo el aire. It's vacuum packed. It's airtight. I know we've looked at this next adjective and I love it. Groundbreaking. I use it to talk about Vaughantown. Vaughantown was and is groundbreaking. You don't have to leave Spain to get a completely, totally immersive experience. An hour from Madrid or wherever you may live, because we have many different places. So groundbreaking. And if you think about it, to break ground is to start something new, right? I'll give it to you in context. They broke ground on the new hospital. Okay, empezaron construcción, iniciaron, right? So groundbreaking means, you would say, revolucionario, right? To recruit, that's a similar word, but I've heard students say recruit. No, es con R, recruit, se escribe, pero se dice recruit. Okay, recruit. I know you know decepcionar. It's not deception. A deception is a lie. O sea, es un false friend. He's very deceitful. I don't believe his deceptions. He's being deceptive. Todos esos son mentiras, mentiroso. So this is, we would say, I'm disappointed or I'm let down. It's a disappointment or a letdown. Es verbo, también es sustantivo. Here's one I love. Speaking of emojis, ¿cómo se dice el inverso de una sonrisa? So you've got a smile. Everybody knows that one. Well, to frown is a sad face. When you frown, you know, your lips go down. And if something is frowned upon, they said frowned on. You can say frowned on or frowned upon. Está mal visto, right? Putting your feet up on public transport is frowned upon, and it should be. I see people do it. I'm like, you think someone wants to sit where you put your dirty shoes? Okay, well, I guess your parents didn't teach you the basics. You can always see in life whose parents did a good job and whose parents didn't do a good job. I'll give you an example. At the gym the other day, there was a woman on her phone. No problem. Listen, if you got to take a phone call at the gym, no problem. Everybody gets it. You know, maybe it's during the work day. You're trying to, you know, get ahead of the game a little bit, you know, during your lunch hour. But this woman, okay, let's put it this way. I had my podcast. I was listening to a podcast. I had it on full blast. You say a todo trapo? I had it on full blast, and I heard this woman's full conversation. And I thought, okay, well, you know, maybe it's important, but it wasn't. It was, bueno, tía, entonces, ta. And I was like, really? I was like, you can tell. And she was like 30 something. And you think if they don't know it by then, they're never going to know it. As we say, you lack self-awareness. Careces de conciencia de ti mismo, no? So, and again, that was an example where I was like, I should call a friend and start talking as loud as she is and see if she thinks it's okay. And then she's going to look at me like, Theo, I'm having a conversation too. And I can talk louder than you, believe me, because I can project my voice. But I thought, no, because I was taught that you don't do that. So I feel like for some people out there, maybe it's a little bit too late. So yeah, screaming into your phone anywhere in any public place is frowned upon. It should be illegal because you're a nuisance to society. What in God's earth would make you think that anybody would be interested in hearing your conversation with your friend? And when you say, tia, every 5 seconds, oh my God. Well, it's too late for some people, as I said, and that's not my problem. But for a second, I was like, I should just call my friend. Hey, Mikey, what's going on, motherfucker? You know, and what is she going to do? Look at me like you're being rude? Well, I'm just doing the same thing you're doing, but I can beat you. If you want to go loud, I can beat you there. Believe me. So, perfect example. Screaming into your phone in a public place is frowned upon. mal visto. Another one, we looked at the word hire. This has two meanings. In British English, to hire is alquilar. In American English, we say to rent. And in both American and British English, to hire is contratar. Just be careful. We don't say to contract. I've never heard it that way. I've heard contract as to contract a disease. Okay? So to get a disease. Also, there was an expression I love in there. You could sell ice to an Eskimo. That means you're very convincing. Okay? It means you have the power of persuasion. You're a good salesperson if you can sell. Piénsalo. Puedes vender hielo a un esquimal. This guy could sell ice to an Eskimo. I love that one. We also looked at the word target. I've heard a lot of people pronounce it target. It's not target, it's target. La G es como G en ese caso. All right? And to sweep somebody off their feet was another one. Well, maybe you guys gave us that one because that's another way of saying to amaze someone. Man, that concert swept me off my feet. Me dejó, wow, boquiabierto. And we were talking about convincing people. Remember the phrasal verbs to talk somebody into something and to talk somebody out of something. So if you're thinking about signing up for a Vaughn Town, I'll talk you into it. I think it's a great idea. You should definitely do it. If you're thinking about taking drugs, I'll talk you out of it. I'm like, you really want to hurt your body and your mind? Right? So to talk somebody into something, to talk somebody out of, o como decimos, outa. All right, you talked me out of it. No, me has convencido que no lo haga. All right, let's see who's with us in the house. I see we've got a lot of students participating. This is wonderful. There's Elena. Elena says, grabbing a cup of Joe. That's right. A cup of Joe means a cup of coffee. You can also say a cup of Java or a cuppa. Yeah, a cuppa can be coffee or tea. I'm going to have a cuppa. A cup of, pero como lo decimos, nos comemos el of, a cup of coffee. We don't say a cup of coffee. ¿Por qué? Porque si para formar la F, tenemos que hacer la C. It's a very, you have to really like change your whole mouth around. So, unaware, sin ser consciente, nos comemos esa F. A cuppa, right? Outa. Get out of here or get out of here. ¿Ves? La F es difícil transicionar de la F al próximo sonido. So, ¿qué hacemos? Pues esa F, fuera. So, grabbing a cup of Joe and enjoying the show. Hey, you're a poet and you didn't even know it, Elena. Good morning, guys. What a beautiful day. You've got the right attitude, as always, Elena. Let's see, there's Vero. Vero says, I don't like Black Friday. Yeah, it's one of those, like, Corte Inglés holidays. You know, it's all about consuming. And that's great, but not for me. So yeah, I second the motion. I don't like Black Friday, but I suppose it's somehow the Christmas kickoff. Well, you could also say that then about Thanksgiving. And then that's a real holiday, right? Thanksgiving is the day before Black Friday. Now, could you please, Vero, come to my town and tell everybody that the official kickoff hasn't started yet? Because there are Christmas decorations all over my town already. I mean, we're not even done with October yet. And there are Christmas decorations everywhere. It's incredible. Talk about la expresión jumping the gun. So yeah, for us, the official kickoff is Thanksgiving. And then somebody said, well, we've got to add another one there, Black Friday. And what do we do on Black Friday? Do we get together with our family and share a meal and think about what we're thankful for? No. Black Friday, we go shopping. No thanks. So yeah, I feel you. But for us, you could say it's Black Friday, or you could say, really, it's the day after Thanksgiving. There's Born to Iron Man. He says, sup, folks? What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great to have you with us. rocking and rolling. There's Grace Valrol. She says, morning, fantastic show with no namers. I'm grabbing my mug, my cup of tea. I love it. You, ladies, you're ready. You've got your caffeine and you're ready to rock and roll. And she says, and Alberto is whistling the Say What jingle. He knows the jingles by heart. Awesome. Awesome. Shout out to Alberto. I hope Alberto's coming to the trivia night too. I hope so. Your partner in crime. And it's funny that you mentioned the jingles. I got an email the other day from somebody saying, I hate your jingles. They annoy me. They're driving me crazy. And you need to change them because you haven't changed them since the beginning of the show. As I said, I mostly get positive. And in fact, the first part of that email, well, it was more like a dissertation. It was a really long email. And the person said, I won't mention names, oh, I hate the jingles. I can't stand them. And you haven't changed them. And then I looked at the jingles and really there are 2 or 3 that are the original jingles. But some of them we just started recently. Like our, wacky world records review. I mean, these are new. These are a month old. So I couldn't agree with that statement. One thing is you don't like them. But another thing is saying that they're the same ones from 17 years ago or whenever I started the show. I lost track. But not really. News Report is new. Say What soundbite used to be the Batman jingle. So that one's changed pretty recently. Pop Quiz, we've only been doing that for 2 or 3 years. The Spelling Bee, that one's new too. So I guess really the old school ones are Homophones, Double Trouble, Famous Birthdays, and so half of the jingles are relatively new. Another thing is that you don't like them, but again, you're entitled to your opinion. What I usually do with that is if I hear more people saying I don't like them than I like them, then I pay attention. But if it's just one person, then it's an opinion. I usually go with the majority. Right? When I'm making decisions on what to keep in the show, what to cut, what sections work and what don't. I've started many sections here on the show that I've done away with. Because I said, you know what, I don't think that's really, it's not the way I want it. It's not happening the way so it's a trial and error. How do you say that? Trial and error is prueba y, es que antes lo sabía. Vamos a ver. Trial. Estamos mirando buen vocabulario hoy. Trial and error is prueba y error. Yeah. So you try things, but you got to try them. But I appreciate you guys giving me feedback. I really do. And I take every comment seriously and I look at it deeper, of course. But I only saw that comment once so far. And Alberto, you just confirmed that you enjoyed the jingle. So that's cool. But I can tell you that they're not all the same ones. Half of them are, some of them are just a month or 2 old, right? Some of them I know because I make them myself, right? The original ones, I didn't know how to edit or anything, but now I can make my own. In fact, the radio ads that you hear, a lot of them I make myself, because I've learned how to produce and edit through my very own podcast, FYI, which a lot of people are writing to me and saying, Alberto, when is FYI coming back? I need a sponsor. I need somebody to sponsor the show because it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. I know people say, oh, I'm going to start a podcast. The first thing I say there, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, do you know what you're saying? So we'll see. I won't rule it out, but right now, FYI is on hiatus. Una pausa. Okay. It's not over. And you've got, I think, hundreds of episodes. I haven't taken them. I'm still paying the hosting. Okay, así que siguen en internet, siguen en las plataformas. Los sigo pagando por eso, para que no desaparezcan. But I'm just not producing anymore. But thank you again for all your feedback, folks. Whether you like it, you dislike it, it is all appreciated. And everything is taken into consideration. All right, let's see. We've got Elena. Elena says, an American artist celebrating a milestone in a humble way and not feeling a day older or any more popular than he used to. Wow. Good ear. That's our Say What soundbite. Yes. He is celebrating a milestone, una hazaña, un marcador, and he's feeling like not much has changed. He's still the same old guy. Let's see. Chris Valrol has got something to say about our Say What soundbite. She says, I heard an American actor, I'd say. Well, he's done cameos. I don't know if he's an actor. I'll give you a clue, a comic book artist. And he said his creation in there. So now we've narrowed it down. To narrow it down es vamos quitando opciones, viendo, ¿no? To narrow down. A ver cómo lo ponen aquí. Narrow it down is, narrow es estrecho, right? So, reducir, limitar, posibilidades. Okay, so, yes, but an artist, no matter how you slice it or dice it, pongas como lo pongas, definitely an artist. So I heard an American artist, te cambio la palabra, I'd say, and he played a superhero many years ago. He didn't play him, but he created him. Him and someone else created this superhero. Now we're all on the right track and on the same page. It was a huge phenomenon, but he doesn't feel famous anymore. Great observations. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this here. This is insane. Elena has figured out today's Say What soundbite after only 2 listens. Wow. Incredible. Elena, wow, and wow. All right. Well, folks, I can't believe it, but we have got to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to check your pop quiz answers. We have got a lot of stuff to cover. Plus, we're going to hear from some of the greatest students ever. Alfonso, Anix, Chris Chicago, Marisol, Turani, Nuria, Elena, and Chris Valrol. All that when we come back. So, say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back to the second half of today's Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Thank you so much to all of you who tune in from all around the world. Well, I noticed it with FYI. I don't have access to the Vaughn statistics. But on FYI, well, as the creator, as the producer, I have access. And there are listeners on every continent, every age group. That's awesome. In fact, a lot of times when I go through the list, I'm like, oh, Argentina. I'd love to go there one day. Oh, wow. Australia. Oh, that sounds cool. I mean, we've even got listeners in the United States. Shout out to Cristina, Chicago, to Santi. He's out in Las Vegas. I'll never forget. Santi and his family used to come to the book fair. They don't anymore because they don't live in Spain. And I remember Santi said to me, hey, I'm thinking about taking my family stateside and trying something new. I've got an opportunity in the United States. And I looked at him and his wife and his little daughter, whose name is Lara, by the way. And I said, don't hesitate. No do this. Go for it. And fast forward, I think that was 10 years ago. And Santi and his family are living out in Las Vegas. It's awesome. And all because he's like, I think I can do this thing in English. Awesome. And they seem like they're living the life of Riley. Viviendo como quieren. All right, my amigos, we've got so much to do in the second half of today's show. So let's kick things off with our homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. Welcome to our homophone section here on the show with no name. All right, let's see what we've got for today's homophones. All right, the first word is a word I know you know. And because it's one of those common words, okay? And the word is asustado, okay? Si le empleamos el cero el estar, tengo miedo. Estoy asustado, okay? Asustado o con miedo. It's an adjective. And notice el que causa el miedo, como movie, es la reacción al miedo. O sea, tú eres la víctima. Asustado o con miedo. Very appropriate with Halloween right around the corner. And the second word is pretty appropriate too. If you think of Frankenstein, which, by the way, do you guys know the song? They did the mash. They did the monster mash. They did the mash. It was a graveyard smash. They did the mash. It caught on in a flash. My daughter loves that tune, and that is a classic, and you learn a lot of English from it as well. She said, Dad, what is a graveyard smash? I said, un éxito, a big hit at the graveyard. And she says, what does it mean it caught on in a flash? I mean, well, it got really popular quickly. And she goes, oh, okay, thanks. Apuntado. And she's singing while she's learning vocabulary. Check it out. It's very appropriate for this season. It's the Monster Mash. All right. And so the second word is cicatrizado. Okay. Con cicatriz is the second word. Also, it can mean emotionally. Esa experiencia me dejó marcado, I think you would say. Okay. So cicatrizado o marcado in the figurative sense. The first one, asustado, con miedo. The second one, cicatrizado barra marcado, depending on if we're talking about the literal sense or the figurative sense. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. Congratulations to Elena, who already got it. Let me give it to you for the third time.
And it's 50 years now. It's the 50th anniversary of Batman. And it seems like only yesterday. I feel like 18 years old. Don't feel any older. And I don't feel any more famous, so to speak. I think it's an amazing phenomenon. It's just a happening. And you can't explain a happening.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. this is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. That's right, amigos, Vaughntown. If you want more information, go to grupovaughn.com or follow us on social media. All right, let's see. I've got some students participating in our homophones, and don't worry, we're going to check your pop quiz answers in just a minute. I've got it all figured out here, and we'll get it all done by hook or by crook, como sea. All right, let's see. The first one to participate is Elena. She gives us the two words correctly written, and she says they aren't homophones. There's German. Good morning, buddy. He says, morning, guys, and he says the words correctly. He's written them correctly, I should say, and he says they're not homophones. And Chris Valrol as well. All right, so voy a decir, estoy asustado que estaré marcado. I don't know how to translate that. Well, in English, it makes sense. I'm scared I'll be scarred. I'm scared that I'll be scarred. They are not homophones. Awesome job, guys. Just be careful, though, that scared has one R, whereas scarred has two R's, right? And if you know The Lion King, Scar is one of the characters, right? Scar. Why? Because he has a scar on his face. Also, speaking of scar on his face, one of the most famous movies ever, Tony Montana. Say hello to my little friend, Scarface. Right? You call it el miedo al poder, el precio del poder, or something like this. We call that movie, that classic movie, Scarface. Okay? So lo que pasa cuando cogemos la palabra scar, que lleva una R, pero cuando lo ponemos con el ed o el ing, añadimos otra. Así ya sabemos distinguir entre scarred con dos R's and scared con una R. So excellent job. German says, I'm really scared you're going to end up badly scarred after so many scored goals. I love the way your mind works, German. Very funny. All right, let's take a look. We had some things pending in our pop quiz over here, and let me make sure I'm going back to where we've got to go. Okay, Elena. Elena says, that host knocked my socks off last night. He's so talented. Perfect. To knock someone's socks off means to amaze them, to dazzle them, to impress them. The next one, word of mouth goes around. Okay, so word of mouth goes around. So that means se difunde. Excellent. So it sells like hotcakes because it's simply the bee's knees. Wow. So we say word of mouth. Just be careful if you're saying mouth to mouth. That means resuscitation. That means someone needs to be reanimado, right? Mouth to mouth. So word of mouth versus mouth to mouth. Great job, Elena. And she says to sell, es que no vi el it'll. It'll sell like hotcakes. You say vender como churros. Nosotros decimos como tortitas. It'll sell like hotcakes, which, by the way, because it's simply the bee's knees, que eso viene de the business. Man, this is the business. Pero en algún momento se extendió, se cambió la pronunciación, y digo, the bee's knees, which means la bomba. La pera limonera, I think you say. All right, the shit, we can also say in English, as the book is called. The one we don't say is the milk. As you know, that was tongue-in-cheek. It was irónico, playing with that literal translation. All right, let's see. Chris va al rol. My classmates usually knock my socks off. Ditto. Idem. Idem? I don't know how you say that. We say ditto. Lo mismo digo, okay? The next one, she says, that tip goes by word of mouth. Ese consejo se difunde por boca a boca. Right? Word of mouth. Great. And she says, when I see what children or animals are able to do, I think they are the bee's knees. Absolutely. Also, we looked at the best thing. Man, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Desde que empezaron a cortar hogazas de pan, which is weird. There was a comedian, I think maybe it was Jerry Seinfeld. He goes, really? We've done a lot of things, a lot of feats. You know, we've cured different diseases. But for some reason, sliced bread is like the biggest breakthrough. But it is an expression. The best thing since sliced bread. All right. Chris says, impressive, Elena. You knocked my socks off with the say what soundbite. Excellent. Chris, I couldn't think of a better usage. Chris also says, Alberto is coming. Great. Looking forward to seeing both of you. She says, I like the jingles. They're creative. I usually dance when you play them, and I bet we all know them by heart. Elena says, homophones on the show with no name. This is my favorite. Well, the survey is in. El sondeo and the jingles are staying. Well, because the person says, well, I have to take off my headphones when you play them. Well, different strokes for different folks. If the majority of the students like them, and I personally like them, or I wouldn't put them in. But the thing is, I will say, because I'm not going to answer the email. I don't answer all emails. I'm not a big, as I said, I spend very little time sitting in front of a screen. But the thing that the jingles haven't been changed, yeah, half of them. But the other half, some are like a month or two old. So that is not a true statement. But thank you. Thank you for your feedback, guys, because majority rules, as always. Let's see. Chris agrees. She goes, yeah, I love singing it. Well, that's the reason. It's supposed to pump you up, right? Music, the power of music to pump you up. And also, it gives me a second to take a breather. Right? Porque si no estoy hablando 2 horas sin parar. Let's be honest, too. Gives me a second to say, okay, ¿qué es lo que es? Mientras estoy poniendo el homophones, well, I'm looking at what they are. Y ¿qué les cuento aquí? So, again, for me, it also serves another purpose. It pumps me up, right? Me motiva, pero también me da un segundo para ver, tenemos que cortar esta sección. No da tiempo. So it gives me a second just to think, because while I'm speaking, I can't think too much. I'm a guy, and I can't do 2 things at the same time. All right, so let's see. I think that's everybody, right? I wanted to make sure I got everybody's comments in our pop quiz. All right, well, I think you know what time it is. It's time for our question of the week. And this jingle,
Question of the week.
this jingle is only 2 years old. FYI, I know, because we just started doing this section about 2 years ago. So, all right, now let's see what we've got here. I've got a lot of students, by the way. Thank you for your participation. I know it takes time to think about what you want to say, record it, send it to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the time and effort you put into it, and also knowing that thousands of people are going to hear it. So no pressure. All right, we're going to hear from the only male. Guys, we looked at the word let down before. No comment here. Alfonso, you take the cake because you are the only dude who participates in this section. The rest are all ladies, which tells me they are braver, más valientes. I don't know. I'm asking. I'm asking. I'm just curious. It's an observation like any other. All right, here he is, Alfonso.
Hi, Alberto. This is Alfonso from Ruby. This Sunday, I'm gonna do my favorite indoor activity.
Favorite. Es un error muy común. No favorite, favorite.
I'm taking a cruise from Barcelona to Miami with Royal Caribbean.
Take me with you.
When we get to Miami, my wife will do her favorite indoor activity.
Favorite or favorite?
Shopping at the biggest outlets in the United States.
I know the outlets you're talking about in Miami. Oh, yeah.
I'm not really sure if cruising counts as an indoor activity.
Well, yeah, most of the time in a cruise, you're indoors, but yeah, that counts.
But well, most of the time we'll be inside the ship. Same in the mall, you know. But if we talk about a daily indoor activity, I'd say I like going to the gym. I do spinning, body pump, swimming, and so on. You are an inspiration. See you around.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us, and thanks for that nice comment, Alfonso. Good luck. I'll tell you, you want me to tell you something? Alfonso, you speak English already, and I know you're still working on it, better than most people in Miami. No offense, people from Miami, but you're ahead of the game, buddy. Enjoy the cruise, and again, take me with you. All right, let's see. Up next, we've got the lovely Anix.
Hey everyone, this is Anix. Well, I like going out, but I am really a homebody.
Totally native. A homebody. Alguien que le gusta estar en su casita. A homebody. Excellent word.
And one of my favorite indoor activities is watching series, of course.
Binge watching? Binge watching is de tirón.
Sometimes I enjoy reading or just playing board games and just being a couch potato. Okay, guys, bye-bye.
Playing board games. I love board games. My family, we have a lot of board games, from La Oca to checkers to Guess Who, Quien es Quien, we call it Guess Who, and couch potato. Great vocabulary. I'm a homebody, and sometimes I just like to be a couch potato. Hey, me too. I mean, I'm a restless guy, but I've got to admit, there are some Sundays where my wife says, "What do you want to do today, guys?" I'm like, "Nothing." Is that possible? Or sometimes I'll say, "Honey, do we have any plans next weekend?" She'll say, "No." I'm like, "Can we keep it that way?" Well, you know, as I said, I don't have a busy social life, but my daughter does. All right. Excellent job, Alfonso and Anix. I am extremely proud of you. You guys are knocking our socks off. You're sweeping us off our feet. And you guys are the best things in sliced bread para repasar el vocabulario de antes. All right, we're going over to Chicago, where we're going to hear from Cristina.
Hello, Alberto. This is Cristina from Chicago. Hope you're all doing great. Question of the week: doing things indoor, outdoor? Okay, so I prefer, of course, going outdoor.
Indoors or outdoors, con ese?
And then doing all type of sports, even walking. I play pickleball. I think I told you one.
Y ahora, what's your favorite indoor activity? ¿Por qué no has puesto la S? Porque ahí es adjetivo. But if you use it as a noun, doing things indoors or outdoors, siempre lleva la S. ¿Ok? Tenía que explicar eso porque digo, bueno, pero en la pregunta he dicho, what's your favorite indoor activity? Sin S, porque los adjetivos no cogen S. Seguimos.
But because of the weather here is so bad, the winters are so cold.
Cold as hell.
We're talking about like -10. And that's nothing. I mean, that's quite good. So we always have to do things or find out things, to do indoors. So what do I do more indoors? And I recommend it to everybody, Zumba. So I used to be a Zumba instructor. I went crazy, teaching my classes like Latin music, but I still do it, in the gym. And I go nuts. So I laugh at myself.
I go nuts. Se me va la pinza. I love it.
I just move. I work out, and at the same time, having fun, you relax, full of beans. So I highly recommend it. Otherwise, pickleball. Please try it. Hope you like it. Bye.
All right. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I've never tried Zumba. I've heard a lot of great things about it. Yeah, because doing an indoor activity doesn't have to mean being inactive. I mean, you can do yoga indoors. I mean, so that's another thing. It doesn't have to be something where we're not using our muscles or getting our blood flowing. So really good, Cristina. And yeah, she knows it better than anyone. In Chicago, there are probably 4 months of the year where you do not want to go outside unless you absolutely, positively have to. Excellent job, Cristina, Chicago. Let's hear from Marisol.
Hi, it's Marisol. Guess what, guys? Finally, I've got holidays, and on Friday, I'll go to Ireland,
Yeah.
to Galway, to
Take me with you.
be more specific, to meet my friends. Well, back on track. I'd say that my favorite indoor activity is drawing using colored pencils, and soft color pastels.
Wow. Can I tell you something? As somebody, I'm not a good illustrator or I don't draw very well, but there's something therapeutic about taking a colored pencil, as she said, a pastel, or a pen to a paper. I see it even with my daughter. She's a little bit stressed out. I'm like, why don't we draw a picture for mommy? And all of a sudden, there's like a transformation. It really is soothing and therapeutic. I recommend it to anyone, even if you don't consider yourself a good artist. Great, Marisol. Let's continue.
I also want to try drawing with charcoal, although this last one is still on my to-do list.
Charcoal. Esto es con, how do you say charcoal? Because charcoal is carbón, but I don't know if they say it the same for drawing. Charcoal. Carboncillo. Oh, okay. Carbón, carboncillo. Okay. See, I'm learning too.
What I draw more often are landscapes and occasionally people's faces.
Wow, that's tough. Landscapes and people's faces. Oh man, you are definitely somebody who takes a risk because faces, that's hard. That's really hard, and landscapes as well. But Marisol, you are an adventurer.
I'm not a professional at all. I'm just doing it as a hobby and trying to do my best. But I reckon that the drawings I do are good enough. I bought a book about drawing techniques and I watched some videos to learn the proper perspective and measuring, although I found it difficult. Greetings to our show we no namers. Bye.
Awesome, Marisol. I gotta say something. I'm not a jealous guy, but Alfonso and Marisol, you guys are making me a little bit jealous. I want to go to Ireland. In fact, yesterday I was with my daughter. We went to a restaurant for dinner, and we don't normally eat out. And I decided, let's play a game. And I started showing my daughter different flags, and she had to guess what country that flag was of. And Ireland was one of them. And she said, I want to go to Ireland. And her mother and father, that's us, we said, us too. So have a great trip, Alfonso and Marisol. And folks, I can't believe it, but we have to go to our final commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Turani, Nuria, Elena, and Chris Valrol. Plus, we have our Double Trouble. We've got Name That Movie and so much more still to come. So stick around. Hey amigos, welcome back. This is the fourth and final part of today's show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Thank you so much, amigos, for learning, laughing, and playing with me. If you want to do it in person, which I highly recommend doing things in person, especially now in this digital age that we live in, it's awesome. You know, touching each other appropriately. I don't mean copping a feel, metiendo mano. I mean like shaking hands, giving each other a hug, looking each other in the eye. There's no substitute for that, and you can do it on November 4th, 2025, at the upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. We'll see you there. Gonna be tons of fun, friends, family, and everything in between. Beers and buds, colegas y cervezas. Hey, that sounds like fun. Plus, you'll go home knowing a few more things that maybe you didn't know before. And in December, the last one of 2025, will be hosted by the one and only my mentor, Richard Vaughn. Be there or be square. All right, amigos, it's time for today's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, my amigos, it is time for your double trouble. Okay, I didn't give you a triple trouble, but I don't know what's worse, a triple trouble or a double trouble. And a double trouble is when you have to use two sets of words. Now, I'll tell you one. One of them is a collocation. O sea, van juntos. So as long as you can get that collocation, the other one should be quite easy. All right, are we ready? Okay, here we go. Llegamos sanos y salvos, aunque oí un sonido que proviene de la caja fuerte. Okay, o que provino? Is that how you say that? Que provino, I think would be the conjugation there. This is where Spanish gets really difficult. Conjugación de verbos. Provino, right? Viene, vino. I don't know. I could be wrong here, but you know what I'm getting at. So, llegamos sanos y salvos. That's the collocation. Like in Spanish, it's a collocation. Palabras que van colocadas juntas. Okay? Llegamos sanos y salvos, aunque oí un sonido que provino de la caja fuerte. So you have to use two sets of words here. Good luck. It's today's double trouble. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the fourth and final time.
And it's 50 years now. It's the 50th anniversary of Batman. And it seems like only yesterday. I feel like 18 years old. Don't feel any older. And I don't feel any more famous, so to speak. I think it's an amazing phenomenon. It's just a happening, and you can't explain a happening.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right. If you want any more information about our masters, Vaughan Town, about anything we offer, whether it's a course, whether it's one of our online courses, which remember, a couple of them right now are at a not 50, 60% discount. Follow Vaughn on social media and check it out. Also, if you'd like to stop by in person, feel free to stop by. You can stop by in Madrid. We have several offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. And it seems like our double trouble wasn't too difficult. It didn't give you too much trouble today because I've got a lot of people participating. All right, let's see. The first one to participate is German. And he says, we arrived. All right, there's a little typo there, but we can overlook one typo. We arrived safe and sound, even though I heard a sound summing. I can't take 3 typos, though. I'll take 1 because we're human, but 3 is a little bit of carelessness. Well, I'll tell you what. What do we always do in this situation? We see if anybody did it without typos. So we'll move on to the next comment, which is Elena. Elena says, we arrived safe and sound, although I heard a sound come from the safe. That's it. Perfect. We arrived safe and sound. And sound es sonido, pero también we say of sound. Cuando firmas un contrato, you have to testify in court. I of sound mind and body, right? Cuerdo, I think it means. It means you're not crazy if you have a sound mind, right? So Elena says, we arrived safe and sound, although I heard a sound come from the safe. Excellent. Chris Valrol, we arrived safe and sound, although I heard a sound coming from the safe. Correct as well. German says, my typing skills are a mess today. I agree. Yeah, because 3 typos in 6 words, in 7 words, however many words it is, that's we're looking to get that down a bit over there. So excellent effort. And great job. Excellent job. And you got a typo in the second attempt too, German. Today's not your day for typing. Put the phone down. All right. Excellent job. Safe and sound. Also, una caja fuerte is called a safe, and a sound, I think you know, as sonido as well. All right. I'll tell you what, we've got to hear from some more students in our question of the week. Up next, we've got Durani.
Hi there, show with no namers. This is Durani speaking. Regarding the question of the week, my favorite indoor activity is so simple. Each to their own, but in my opinion, there is nothing better than reading a book or listening to music.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's like something people take for granted. Reading a book. You want to be taken on a journey, una cruzada, un viaje? Read a book. Listen to an amazing song. Absolutely, Turani.
Especially in these coming months where winter is coming. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that
wow, without a shadow of a doubt. Sin atisbo, you think you say, or something like that?
That under my blanket, I could be hooked by a book for hours or listening to music to avoid to die of boredom.
And there's something about a book and a blanket, they go hand in hand.
One way or another, music makes my day when I got up on the wrong side of the bed.
Excellent expression, when I get up on the wrong side of the bed. And did you do that on purpose? Music makes my day one way or another. Did you do that on purpose, Durani?
Even if when I was at the hospital worried sick, I got a bit of peace and quiet through books and music. That's why I love it so much. Thanks for listening. See you around.
Thank you, Turani. And I hope you're getting better. And I hope you're getting stronger. And we send you all of our positive vibes and good wishes. Excellent job. And that sounds like a plan, Stan. Eso es como decimos, vaya planazo. Sounds like a plan, Stan. Stan is not her name, Stanley. Stan, but it rhymes. It's like, get on the bus, Gus. All right, up next, we've got a student who never misses the question of the week. It's Nuria.
Hey there, Alberto, Seguino Namers. This is Nuria, and I hope you're doing well. As for this week's question, I must come clean
To come clean, to admit. Great.
on this matter and say that my favorite indoor activity is crochet.
Crochet. Great.
It helps me to put my feet up and tailor my clothes to my size and taste. In my way of thinking, crochet has a plethora of benefits for personal well-being, as I've said before. It's affordable, accessible.
That's another thing, something that's affordable. You're like, oh, well, my favorite indoor activity is snowboarding. And you can do that indoors at Sanadu, for example, in Madrid. But then it's $35 every time you go. Even, I mean, that's having your own equipment. So that's another thing. You want to think of an activity that's not going to break the bank.
And sustainable, among other things. Besides, I can listen to the show with no name while crocheting. I love it. Give it a try, amigos. Take care. Thank you.
Great. Crocheting and learning English at the same time. I love it, Nuria. What a lovely person she is. And you can tell. Sometimes you can just hear somebody's voice and you know that, well, I know Nuria in person as well. And she is an amazing individual. Nuria, never, ever change. All right, let's see. We've got, speaking of amazing individuals, last but not least, Elena and Chris Valrol. Let's hear from Elena.
Morning, everyone. This is Elena. Regarding the question of the week about my favorite indoor activity, well, I guess it goes without saying that when the winter is coming up, people tend to spend more time indoors. And what I feel like doing is cuddling up on my couch below a nice cozy blanket and binge watching, some
Binge watching, lo vimos antes. And cuddling or snuggling is dando mimos, right? Being nice and warm.
Netflix, documentaries, movies.
Just be careful, documentary. La U is you, right? It's not documentaries, documentaries. Great.
On the other hand, I also get a kick out of having people over.
To get a kick out of, me flipa, me encanta. I get a kick out of having people over, invitando amigos a casa. Great plan.
Sipping a coffee just to catch up. However, I imagine most of us also enjoy a bit of me time every now and then, especially at the weekend, So I quite enjoy el dolce far niente. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Ciao.
You need me time. It's so true. Even if you're with your partner, you're with your kids, you're with your best friends, you still need that me time, which again, this is why I hate social media. Social media robs you of your me time. And that me time makes you a better student, a better husband, a better, right? Being able to spend that time with yourself. Many people do it at the gym, such as Alfonso, and that's a time to reflect, to be inside your mind. And, well, that makes you more balanced. So excellent answers, all of you, really. And last but not least, and I'm going to go get the blanket after this, we've got Chris Valrol.
Morning, show with no namers. It's Chris Valrol. I like tons of activities indoor, from the ones I can do at home to the places I can go, like the movie theater, a museum, or my favorite one, the trivia night. As for indoors at home, I can't say I have a favorite one. I get a kick out of
Great. To get a kick. You can say, I enjoy, pero not you girls, because you're totally native. You say, I get a kick out of it. Awesome.
Exercising before having my delicious breakfast. Then the show with no name.
And what a better way to deserve that breakfast, merecértelo, than working out, doing some physical activity before it. Excellent.
I also love watching movies or series, listening to a podcast, playing cards, reading, and so on. I really enjoy being at home. Thank you. Bye bye.
So, Chris, as Anik said, you are a homebody. I got to admit, I'm a homebody. I was always a social butterfly, but as you get older, sometimes you change. Also, everything, my favorite things in the world, things/people, are at home, right? My wife, my daughter, our favorite blankets, our games, our deck of cards, nuestra baraja. So what can I say except fucking awesome job? Alfonso, Anix, Chris, Marisol, Turani, Nuria, Elena, and Chris Valrol, you knocked my socks off. All right, it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. All right, welcome to today's Name That Movie, my amigos. Let's take a look at this movie. And if you were paying attention, I already told you this movie. You know how I work, folks. All right, here we go. In the 1980s, a determined, criminal-minded Cuban immigrant becomes the biggest drug smuggler in Miami. Hey, be careful, Alfonso. And is eventually undone by his own drug addiction. Y como dicen en la película, don't get high on your own supply. No te coloques con tu propio suministro. Then you're, all right? In fact, they say the best drug dealers, camellos, you say, are the ones who don't do drugs, because then they're not getting involved in their own product. They're not cutting into their profits. So in the 1980s, a determined, like you guys, not drug dealers, but you're determined to learn English. Criminal-minded Cuban immigrant, no Cuban, becomes the biggest drug smuggler. Okay, and contrabandas, to smuggle. If you're smuggling things, it is contrabandista, I think you say, in Miami. And he is eventually undone. Okay, undone. Undone, pues done es hecho. Undone es arruinado, destrozado. Okay, so he is eventually undone by his own drug addiction. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your movie queen, Chris Valrol. It's Scarface. That's right. She says, I knew it. I knew it. All right, let's take a look at the scene here. Immigration officer number 2 says, so where's your old man now? Your old man is tu viejo. It's another way of saying your dad. And Tony Montana says, and I'll try and do his accent, Al Pacino, he did. He died. Sometime, somewhere. And the immigration officer says, mother? She dead too. Immigration officer number 1 says, what kind of work you do in Cuba, Tony? And Tony says, things. I was this, that, construction business. I work a lot with my hands. Before that, I was in the army, the ejército. And then immigration officer 1 says, any family in the States, Tony? Any brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, brother-in-law, anybody? Tony says, nobody. Everybody's dead. And then immigration officer number one says, have you ever been to jail in Cuba, Tony? And he goes, me? Jail? No way. No. And then he says, you been in a mental hospital? And he says, oh, yeah, on the boat coming over. Sí, en el cayuco, en el barco, viniendo para acá. All right, folks, it's Scarface. What a great movie. All right, it's time to move on to famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays. Birthdays for me. Famous birthdays. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. Birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, we've got to fly through famous birthdays. Number one, a Canadian rapper and actor. I've got to be honest, I've never really gotten into his music, but his name is Pato Macho. Yeah. So if you know how to say Pato Macho, so no hembra, sino macho, then that's him. Okay, that's number one. He's got a lot of different songs. The Best I Ever Had, Find Your Love. He's also got IDGAF. You know what that stands for? I don't give a yeah, that's right. I don't me importa una mierda, the translation. Number two, this guy was born in 1939, an American actor. He's been in many, many plays, but he's also been in many movies. All the President's Men. He was in Scarface. He wasn't Al Pacino. I'll tell you that. Okay. The Name of the Rose, The Last Action Hero, Mighty Aphrodite, Finding Forrester, The Grand Budapest Hotel, and so many more. Oh, and he was also in Homeland, very popular series. And last but not least, this American author and illustrator. Well, he died in 1998, but he was the creator of Batman. That's right. He also created many other characters for the DC comics. And yeah, he's one of a kind. I mean, look at it. His legacy continues to live on. They're making The Batman Part 2. They've got Bane. I mean, you've got Rides. I mean, the licensing of this character is insane. All right, Chris Val, roll number one. Drake, number two. F. Murray Abram. Buenísimo este actor. F. Murray Abram. And last but not least, Bob Kane. That's going to bring us right into our Say What soundbite. This is Bob Kane at the 50th anniversary of the creation of his brainchild. His and Bill Finger, they worked together. And he says, 50 years now. It's the 50th anniversary of Batman. It seems like only yesterday. I feel like 18 years old. I don't feel any older. And I don't feel any more famous, so to speak, como quien dice, por decirlo así. I think it's an amazing phenomenon. That's exactly what it is. And it's just a happening, okay? A happening, algo que pasa, right? And you can't explain a happening. All right, here he is, birthday boy Bob Kane.
And 50 years now, it's the 50th anniversary of Batman. And it seems like only yesterday. I feel like 18 years old, don't feel any older, and I don't feel any more famous, so to speak. I think it's an amazing phenomenon. It's just a happening, and you can't explain a happening.
There you go, a happening, algo que ocurre, like sobrenatural. It's a happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. That applause was for you, for all your energy, not just today, every day here on the Show with No Name. I can feel it through the screen, okay? I can feel it through your comments. I can feel it through every syllable you utter. Utter means to speak when you do the question of the week. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And keep up the great work. That's all I can say. Stay tuned. Up next, you've got Ale with Speaking with Confidence, and we're going to say goodbye with an acronym, a song by Drake called IDGAF. And that's I don't give a fuck. Me importa una mierda. Obviously, it's vulgar, but if you didn't know that acronym, well, now you do. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. And hopefully you'll participate in next week's question of the week, telling us your favorite emoji and why. Ciao for now.
Penny X.